Okay, so I am on day 4 of our 4-week gut protocol. It has not been perfect, but it has been helpful. I have been going through my tracking each day and in just looking at how I set myself up for the week this past weekend, I feel like it's been very successful and it's helped me. So I thought I would do a video to help you if you're just joining me and getting started now, or if you're preparing to have your first week, or if you were kind of struggling with how you set yourself up and you're looking for some guidance. So hopefully what helped me may help you. And of course, I'm always open to questions should you have something to do. So I am a paper person. It really helps me. You can absolutely, if you love Excel or Word docs, or you're really skilled on your computer, you can absolutely do this on a computer as well. I personally just found it easier for me to have a computer. So what I did to get myself started is I wrote down a cheat sheet for myself. So first I calculated the plan. I'm in plan D. And then I wrote down all the containers that I need to have in plan D, which is 7 green, 3 purple, 3 red A, which are the animal reds, the animal proteins, 3 red B, which are the plant proteins, 2 YA, which are, those are the whole grains, and we measure that when they're cooked, 2 YA that are whole grains, 2 YB. See, I missed updating that because I had originally calculated myself wrong. So I'm a work in progress too. I told you, I'm taking my coach hat off. I'm kind of putting it on as a smart cap and flipping it backwards. I'm an accountability buddy right here, right along with you. 2YB, which is the starchy carbs, and then 1B, 1 blue container, and 6 teaspoons. Now I want to say something really important that I learned on day 2 is I realized I had not been tracking my teaspoons. I knew I measured off my teaspoons when I was cooking, and I kind of had an idea, but when I did the math of how many teaspoons I got in a day on Monday and Tuesday, I didn't meet my teaspoon requirement. And those oils really are healthy in your body needing to do its job. So she gives us teaspoons because we do need to use them. So I want to encourage you that if you haven't tracked teaspoons, or you think, I think I get enough, you may be overdoing them, and it may be part of what does or doesn't get results for you, or you may be underdoing them. And if you're a physically active person for work, or if you are a runner like me, or if you do other things, like those are really important in helping your body. It helps prevent constipation. There's a lot of other good things that it does for you. So you want to make sure you're tracking your oils because you do need them. The next thing, so I got my plan, calculated my plan, followed what the instructions were correctly this time, and I wrote down all the containers that I get to consume. These are just my morning routine questions that I kind of do some journaling and things in the morning. And then I printed out my containers and what goes in each container. I also have them saved in my favorites on my phone. They are on the app, they're on the tracker app, they're in your on demand. So there's a lot of places I can go to. I just find it easier for myself to have them here. I actually took them to the grocery store with me on Sunday and was kind of like just scrolling through in the veggie section. So I just want to encourage you that if you want, you can print them out, or screenshot them, bring them up on your computer or your phone while you're doing this. It was also easier for me to show you by having them printed. So I have what goes in the containers and my container count, and then a blank sheet of paper. So the first decision that I made was how frequently do I want to eat? Now, I shared I am a runner. I'm training for a half marathon, so I'm doing a little more activity than Autumn would really recommend for this program, but I just felt like I could still learn through this. I just had to adjust my calculations. So what I have found in these first 4 days is that depending on when I run, I get hungrier earlier in the day. And I start my morning with my 6 a.m. workout. So I do have breakfast around 7:15 with my son. So I can almost want lunch sometimes as early as 10:30. So I personally chose that I'm going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a snack halfway between breakfast and lunch, and a snack halfway between lunch and dinner, that I can enjoy that. So what I did is on my blank sheet of paper, I'm just writing in breakfast, snack, lunch, snack. Should probably write that one lower. So my snacks are going to be smaller, so I don't need as much room to write between. But so this is what I did. So I wrote breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I have my snacks midway in between. Now I'm using the key code that I made for how many containers I get to eat a day. And I'm just going to plate my meals. So I'm not going to worry about which type of food. What I'm going to look at is breakfast, my first meal. My body is looking to absorb nutrients. So drinking Shakeology, having it for breakfast, having it be one of the first things that your body can consume and put to work is a really great beneficial time to have it. So I know I want to have at least one RB at breakfast. So my breakfast, I'm going to have really filling. I'm going to do 2 green, 1 purple, 1 RB, which I already know is going to be my Shakeology. So I'm just going to write that in. You can see I'm just writing down how many containers and which color. 1 YA and a teaspoon. So now I have my breakfast broken down, 2 green, 1 purple, 1 RB, 1 YA, and 1 teaspoon. Now I'm going to look into my snack. Now, something that I've learned from 2B Mindset and from Portion Fix, from being, over 100 pounds down for over 3 years now, is that when we pair protein with fiber-filled carbs, it helps the energy from the protein last longer, and they work together for the good of the body. And I also know that vegetables help us feel fuller longer. So when I'm looking at my snacks, I'm looking at what can I pair? So do I want to pair, I think my mid-morning snack, I want it to last. So I'm going to be putting in one of those red B. So 1 RB. And so to help keep that protein lasting, I'm going to add in 1 YB. So I'm just making my snack an RB and a YB. Now I'm going to go to my lunch and look at, what do I want to have at a lunch? I want a filling lunch. I want some protein. I want some carbs. I want some fats. I want some like some fruit dessert. And so what I've been doing that I've been having a lot of fun with is having like a grapes or an apple or an orange as a dessert at lunch. And the grapes have been really great. I haven't had grapes in my meal plan for a while. So that was one of the fruits that I added in to rotate. And I've really been enjoying them as an after dinner, after lunch dessert. So I think that worked well for me. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'll do another 1 RA, 2 green, 1 purple for that dessert, 1 RB, and then 1 of the orange, which are your seeds, and a teaspoon. Okay. So I'm just writing that in. Again, I'm not really adding any food in there yet. Now my second snack. So my snack. my second snack, I'm going to add in, I think, let's see, did I eat all the purples? So I get 3 purple a day. I have a purple at lunch and a purple at breakfast. So a snack, I like having a fruit for a snack. So I'm going to make my snack be 1 purple. Again, pairing that fiber-filled carb in there. So the 1 YB. And I'm going to give myself 1 of my veggies. I'm actually going to add a veggie to my first snack too. So now if I add up, I see what I have left for dinner is 2 green, 2 RA, 1 blue, and 1 YA. And I think I have a teaspoon too, but I'm just going to double check here. So 1 teaspoon. So now I'm just counting what I wrote on here. 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon. I need 4 more teaspoons. So I definitely need to add a teaspoon. I'm going to add breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm going to account for 2 teaspoons at each because I know my vegetables, I've been cooking them, and also my potatoes and grains, I've been cooking them with half a teaspoon each time. So I know that I'm going to be able to get that. So here is what mine ends up looking like. And now I just count to make sure that I got all my containers spread out throughout a meal. So 7 green. So I have 1, 2 at breakfast, the third one at snack, 1, 2, 5 at lunch, 6, 7, 8. I managed to give myself an extra green. 1, 2 at breakfast. Gave myself an extra green at a morning snack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm good there. 3 purple, 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch, 1 at snack. Good there. 3 red A. 1. It's almost like bingo. 1 red A. 2 red A. I am missing a red A. Where did I eat it this week? Have I been short by food? Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. I was counting a 2 as a 1. Okay. 3 red B. So 1 red B at breakfast, 1 red B at snack, 1 red B at lunch. That is 3. 2 YA, 1 YA at breakfast, 1 YA at dinner, 2 YB, 1 YB at snack in the morning, 2nd YB at snack in the afternoon. 1 blue. Blue is at dinner, and then teaspoons, 2, 4, 6, 2 at each of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So now I know I'm having 2 green, 1 purple, an RB, a YA, 2 teaspoon at breakfast. I'm having an RB and a YB at snack, 1 RA, 2 G, 1 P, 1 RB at lunch with seeds and teaspoon, 1 P, 1 YB, 1 G, and then 2 G, 2 RA, 1 B, 1 YA, and 2 TSP at dinner. This may seem like a lot. I promise if you just take your time and do one next thing at a time, it gets easier And it's okay if you make a mistake. I made a mistake while I was counting right here, sharing with you. I shared in a video this morning that I made a mistake, twice this week. I made a mistake in my counting initially because it's a learning process. It's something new, and I'm getting to be a beginner again after doing the same thing successfully for 5 years. It's a lot of information, and however you've been eating is maybe how you've been eating for 20 years or 30 or 40. So it's okay. It's okay to have it not be perfect. Now, this is the fun part where you get to go grocery shopping. No, I would not take this list and go right to the grocery store, but I would like you to go grocery shopping at your food lists. And I'm going to just give you a quick little synopsis first before we do that. So now that we have all the containers, hopefully you can see that all the containers are a bank account. They're basically a bank account for macros to help you consume what your body needs to nourish itself best. We nourish to flourish. We nourish our body with what it needs, and it will do what it's supposed to do, create new cells, give us energy, release what it doesn't need to hold on to, release inflammation, and get some stuff out. And the first week or two, depending on how you've been eating and how much needs to get out of your gut, can be a little heavy in gas. Also, if adding veggies in is something new to you, that's where she's recommending cooking them or low gas veggies, and then also having the diversity to really help you. So we have this set up, and all this is every day the containers reset. So I really like to prep the food by making a bunch of different things in bulk, and then when it's time to eat, using the containers as scoopers. So I don't really take the containers with me all day, other than I scoop them out to portion it when I'm portioning my plate or I'm looking to heat things up. What I like to do next is go through and pick vegetables. I do want to share with you some ideas that I found from this Sunday. I got an extra $2 off each of these. They're green beans, family size green beans and snow peas. Green beans and snow peas are really low on producing gas, so there's something good to eat if you're having a gas reaction, as opposed to, say, like cauliflower and broccoli do provide a higher level of gas, if you will. So rotating in vegetables that are lower on the gas scale, these are two of my favorites. And I also really like them because they freeze well and they're versatile. You can steam them and put some lemon over them. You can add them to a stir fry. You can put them in a soup or a chili. You can even eat them raw. So there are so many different ways to enjoy them. And I love to get the family size because this will probably last for 2 weeks, and I can freeze them. I can portion them out and freeze them, wash them up, and do a lot of different things, and help save me money getting to freeze them too if I don't get to eat them right away. So our goal or our mission is to find 30 different plants to eat. And that can seem overwhelming when you're just looking at it at first. I think I made it up to 28, and then I accidentally made it to 30 by having a dinner out with my friend Julie on Tuesday night, and I was able to get the veggie kebabs, which had squash and zucchini that were not in my meal plan this week. So I made it to 30 with those squash and zucchini. So yay, I'm excited. I didn't even try. Well, I tried, but I didn't initially make it. So I like to start with the proteins and look at what proteins do I want to cook or have on hand. So ones that I know I really like. So I'll start by looking through. I know, turkey breast and chicken breast are really easy to prepare and have on hand. Lean or ground turkey are really easy to prepare in versatile ways and have on hand. I have a lot of freshwater frozen fish as far as tilapia and salmon, so wild caught as well. So I'm glad that I have those. I'm personally skipping eggs, but you could note the eggs at this point and kind of look at what will be my proteins for the week. So this week, my red container A proteins were chicken and fish. So I'm going to switch it up for next week, and I'm going to, tuna is surprisingly down kind of low. Shrimp's like in the middle. So something that I learned from Portion Fix videos is the closer to the top, the more nutritious the food, the more nutritiously beneficial the food is. So I'm looking to see, can I eat in the top and eat a little different than what I did this week? So I'm going to switch the fish because I know in my freezer, I'm going to use what I have. I know in my freezer, I have some of the opposite, the salmon and the fish, and I do have some tuna. And then ground turkey and chicken. So I think for my red A for dinner, I'm going to do ground turkey or shrimp. And how I'm writing it in is I'm doing the proteins next to that letter in that food and doing or, so that I can switch it and not feel like I'm eating ground turkey every night for dinner. I'm going to have an or, and I can just or fish or shrimp. And that way I have 3 different dinners planned for the week, and I just have to switch which one I grab. So when I'm prepping my food, I'll boil a bunch of shrimp. Maybe I'll look for a recipe in the blog and see different ways to cook them. A lot of times for shrimp, they cook so fast, I keep them frozen until it's the day I'm going to eat them, or you can prep them ahead. Ground turkey, I'm going to do like, I like to do like ground turkey patties from To Be Mindset. And then I either break them up and cook them and make it kind of like a spaghetti squash and, you know, add in different things, or just have them like an open face burger. And then the same with, I wrote shrimp twice. I meant to write fish. So I'm able to have versatility, but I also know I need to have XYZ servings of chicken. And so when I bake the chicken on Sunday, you know, maybe I bake 8 chicken breasts for my family because there's 3 of us here. And those 8 chicken breasts will be for the week. And we can just cut them up and reheat them in different meals and different things. Have the big ground turkey made, be able to portion it out and use it throughout the week. So then I'm going to look at my other RA is at lunch, and I'm going to make the lunch the opposite of what the dinner is. So this second week, we are allowed to have salads, and you can have salads the first week. It's just a lot of people don't consume enough vegetables and fiber. So going all that fiber and vegetables that you're not used to having can produce a lot of extra gas, and having it cooked versus raw is a little more helpful. But since I know I've been eating veggie heavy for a while, I'm going to dare some salads at lunch next week, and I'm going to make my RA as tuna or chicken. And I already know I have tuna in the pantry. Now we look at the RB. So like I said, my RB for breakfast, I knew I wanted to do Shakeology. That was number 1. And then my next RB is at lunch. And my third RB is at my morning snack. So RB, I have choices of Shakeology, tempeh, tofu, beans, lentils, edamame, peas, refried beans, or quinoa. So since I am doing a tuna or chicken salad, I know that when I have salads like that, I really enjoy having beans. And I know that I have chickpeas and kidney beans this week, but I also know I have black beans and pinto beans. So I also know I have lentils. So I think I'm going to make this week's lunch be either lentils or edamame, which I also know I have in the freezer, or quinoa, because that quinoa also goes good in salads. So my RB at lunch is going to be either quinoa or lentils or black beans. And then for my snack in the morning. I have some tempeh that I got and didn't make yet. So I think I'm either going to do tempeh or I'll do like a curry tempeh bake. There's one of those fix-8 recipes in the blog that I really like. So I will do tempeh or tofu because I also have some of the not highly processed tofu. So now you can see my list is kind of just building out. And then this I either keep on my fridge or keep right on my tracker with me when I'm in the kitchen plating my food. And this works. You can plate it the night before to pack it for work if you're going to go to work. But you can see I'm just filling it in with choices for myself so that I have choices, but I also have a guideline to build my grocery list from. If you have groceries that you want to use for certain, make what you're filling in as an or something that you have to consume, because that's also going to help you consume what's in the house versus buying a whole bunch of new things. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not really using in the recipes yet. When I go to my mom's on Saturday, I am going to buy the ingredients to make the beet bloat salad and have that be as a share and bring my other food that I'm going to have with it. And like I said, I did talk to my mom and plan. So she understands what my limitations are and what my plan is and what my commitment is to myself. And she's on board to support me. So we have all the reds filled in. So I'm going to set that one aside. Now we go to our yellows, our carbohydrates. And I'm going to start with the A's, which that is our grains. Then we measure that cooked. So this is brown rice, amaranth, teff, millet, buckwheat, and oatmeal. So I did get myself some gluten-free oatmeal and buckwheat, which looks like little mini hearts and actually tastes really good. I just had it plain boiled in water, but I've been eating boiled oatmeal and with nothing in it for years myself. So maybe you would want to season it with a little half a teaspoon of maple syrup or some spices. But I really did enjoy the buckwheat and I still have a lot of it left. But it worked really well in the breakfast with the Shakeology. So my breakfast I'm going to keep as buckwheat or gluten-free oatmeal as far as my YA options. And then my teaspoon, what I really have been enjoying is a teaspoon of coconut oil in my blended shake. So I'm going to have coconut oil as an option, and I'm just kind of filling in breakfast because I know it is there. And also the unsweetened nut milk that I put in my Shakeology counts as a teaspoon. 8 ounces of that unsweetened nut milk counts as a teaspoon. So my 2 teaspoons at breakfast are going to be the nut milk and the coconut oil. The buckwheat or gluten-free oatmeal is going to be my A. Now I just need my purple and my greens, and I'll be filling in with breakfast. So let's make sure we got all the other yellows. My afternoon is a YB. Now YB is our potatoes, our yams, plantains, water chestnuts, yucca, a russet potato. So this week I baked up a bunch of russet potatoes and sweet potatoes and I portioned them out. I probably have enough of them to go through, and I did not find parsnips. That was one of the ones I wanted to try. So I'm going to put that on again, because I really want to try to find parsnips and make them because there's something new and I want to try to get some new ones in. And yams and sweet potatoes and plantains are right up at the top. And I really do enjoy them. But we should flip it out, right? So I think parsnips or red bliss potato. And I'm going to say or sweet potato because I know I do enjoy them. And at least I'm getting some diversity with the parsnips or the red bliss. Then for dinner, I get one more YA. Of those, there's only 6 choices there, and brown rice is something we have, you know, in the pantry as a staple. So I'm going to do brown rice or buckwheat, since I know I made 1 serving of buckwheat and I think it's going to last me 3 weeks. Like, I didn't realize how much it expands. And then my oil is going to be the EVOO that I'm baking in. Sorry, my teaspoon. And I have ghee as an option. I might experiment. I know there's some companies that sell flaxseed and avocado oil, but I do have sesame oil. So I'm going to put sesame oil as an or, because that can make like a stir fry, you know, taste some Asian flavor there. That can be really fun. So now I have all my Ys filled in. I have the treats and substitutions, but I'm not going to plan on a substitution. It's something that I'm just going to carry with me in case of an unplanned event happening. The next one is I only get 1 blue and 1 orange, so I'm going to fill those in super quick. For dinner this week, I'm going to make the blue be avocado or hummus. So avocado I found freezes really well. I wouldn't necessarily eat it raw frozen, but it does freeze really well. It makes your shake really creamy if you put it in there. And I found, like, if I'm putting it on a warm dish, it does, it works just like an original avocado. If you're eating it raw in a salad, maybe depending on the dressing and what mixes it in it, I've done that and it's been fine. But if you're just eating it raw by itself, it may be not as enjoyable because it will taste a little frozen, but it works really, really great. And then for the seeds, I have these big bags of pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. So on my seeds, I've just been rotating every day. One day I do pumpkin, the next day I do sunflower. So now I've got those filled in. I have some teaspoons to finish filling in at lunch, which I know is going to be how I'm sauteing and cooking, and the sesame oil. I'm trying to really limit my peanut butter because that's something that I know was in my daily consumption a lot. Now we're going to have fun with fruit. So this week, my fruit options were, I had fresh fruit, either an orange, an apple, or grapes. And I had frozen fruit, pineapple, mango, and bananas. So in my Shakeology and breakfast, I would do the frozen fruit and blend it all up. And then at my snack and my lunch, I would have one of those fresh fruits. So let's try to mix the fruit up this week. So I know we got blueberries and blackberries. We still have some apple, some cherries. So cantaloupe's a good one. So I'm going to go for the frozen is going to be banana, or I think blueberries are what's left in the freezer. And then I will see if they have on sale a mixed fruit bag. And then for the other fruits, I'm going to try some cantaloupe. And I actually ended up not eating an orange this week, so cantaloupe and orange. as an option, as an or option. So cantaloupe or orange. It's not really watermelon season. Ooh, maybe a papaya. So I'll do papaya or kiwi on the list. Kiwi. And 2 medium kiwi are 1 serving. So sometimes a container is not a serving. You have to see how many. So now I'll put the or in the fruit for kiwi, papaya, cantaloupe, and oranges. Now, when I get to Elias Market or when I go to Giant and I'm shopping, if I find, fruit that's in season, that's on sale, that's going to be my best bang for my buck. And so all I'll do is I'll just cross it out and I'll change what fruit I'm rotating, but to try to rotate it in. So now I am down to the greens. Parsnips or blues. So I found this week was really, I have a really big bag of kale and spinach that are in the freezer that's probably going to last a month. So I just don't see anything wrong with having this month's shake be kale and spinach in it. So my breakfast veggie is kale and spinach. And then an alternate option is cauliflower rice, because I know I have cauliflower rice in the freezer as well, but I'm just going to do kale and spinach, alternate cauliflower rice, so I can mix up my veggie, add in some cauliflower at some point. I'm going to look at, so I'm having tuna or chicken with some quinoa or lentils at lunch. And now I'm just going to kind of look at my greens and say, what goes with that? That's going to be, different, something different to try. So this week I had bok choy and mushrooms and some beets and different. I had a stir fry with some celery and everything in it. So I know I have snow peas. So snow peas, stir fry with mushroom and onion and maybe some peppers. I'll see what's on sale. That will go well with the chicken. And then I can go, or what will go well with tuna? Well, I know that we have like that sushi roll where she uses the stripper and strips the cucumber. So I'm thinking cucumber for my tuna days. So when I'm having chicken, I'll have the stir fry, or cucumber and carrots diced up like matchsticks to make like tuna sushi rolls. And I'll make a little like reminder for myself. Sushi rolls with tuna. So I'm going to do, and probably some like shaved radishes would be really good in that as well. So I'll like cut the cucumber in a long way. I'll have the radishes thinned out with the food processor or with, cutting it slowly. And then I'll make little matchsticks out of the carrots and I'll lay that all down. And then I'll do something with the sesame oil and the tuna to kind of get some Asian flavor in it. And maybe I'll break out the wasabi and mix up some wasabi, and I'll make like a makeshift tuna roll for some of those lunches. I'm getting really excited about next week's lunches because that's a really fun idea. So you see how I'm doing? I'm just kind of matching the veggies with the other things I'm making and thinking of what I want to make. I find this is more cost effective than picking 24 different recipes and trying to make a whole bunch of different recipes. And I personally, if I'm honest, I don't enjoy spending a lot of time in the kitchen. So making a bulk stir fry with 4 different veggies and having a simpler plan helps me. That being said, on the weekends or going somewhere, I love to have the recipes to look through, to be inspired by and try. But I'm not usually trying to make a new recipe for every single meal. Kind of try to make it easier on myself. Okay, so now we're looking at a potato and a papaya as far as my snack. And I think I'm going to do squash because I can see like parsnips and papaya and a squash would kind of almost go together like a fun, refreshing salad. So I'm going to do squash. And then for dinner, I've got ground turkey, brown rice or buckwheat, have a side of hummus and avocado. So what could I do with that? So ground turkey makes me think of pasta, makes me think of red sauce, makes me think of burgers. Ooh, ground turkey with a side of asparagus. So I can do asparagus. Or string beans. And I'm debating on the eggplant or squash. When I say squash, zucchini. So I'm thinking more of the winter squash for my snack, and then maybe a zucchini or turnip fries. I had turnip fries and rutabaga fries this week, so maybe not repeat those. I know collard greens and cabbage can make like a really good, like around a burger. So maybe I could do collard greens and wrap it around the turkey burger like a burger. So right now I'm going to keep the 2 greens at dinner as asparagus and string beans. And I'm going to put a question mark because I'm going to see, I want to go see what's in the freezer. I guess I should have been in the freezer. Down in the kitchen might have been helpful because I want to see if I have a different veggie blend in the freezer that I could roast up. But I'm thinking it'll be something else that I'm roasting, maybe a beet roast and a beet and carrot roast because I'm going to have some carrots for the tuna salad days. So the days that I don't have tuna for lunch, I can do the beet and carrot roasted veggies at dinner. So I'm having carrots every day, but I'm putting them at a different time of day. They're prepared differently, and I'm not having them at like 2 meals in a row. So I know maybe that took longer. I will say that this is taking longer for me to plan my meals, eating a totally new way. I feel like I'm a beginner again. I don't know how long it'll be until I see the recording, how long the recording was, but I did this from start to finish for you in real time. I really considered what I have and what I did. I didn't do any prep work really for it. So this is how much time, and I have to say, this is like a gift to myself. Like this is an investment in myself. It's kind of exciting to to think about preparing a healthy week of food for myself and knowing how this is going to help me and getting to learn this, there will be a point that I don't have to write it down like this. But when it's brand new, when we're being a beginner, we got to write it down. We got to work through it, whether it's on the app or whether it's some sort of planning, so that I feel like it takes some of the stress off instead of trying to plan every day. I know some of the women in the group love to plan 3 days at a time, so that they can have more versatility. Me, I do need to plan prep about a week at a time, because in my Monday through Friday, I don't have a lot of flexibility to add in cooking. So I hope this was helpful. Please ask any questions, reach out to me. If you don't have a coach and you're happy to see this on YouTube, thank you for joining me. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, message me, and I'd love to talk to you more about the Gut Protocol program and how you can get yourself set up. And if you're here with me, I am so thankful and excited that you're here and that you took the time to watch this. And I hope you look at it as a gift for yourself, an investment in yourself, because learning this skill and this tool, especially if you have kids with you watching or family members with you learning on this with you, this is something you're going to be able to keep using. And even if you don't continue to eat this way after the program is done, it's still something that you can use to plan out what you're going to eat as a family and get rid of some of that stress of, what are we going to eat tonight? Or all the food that sits in the pantry, in the freezer, in the fridge that doesn't get eaten because you didn't take the time to plan out and use it up and prepare it. So hopefully this saves you some time and some money, and it helps you, more importantly, find that energy and release those things that aren't serving you, and just to have a healthy, successful self. So I look forward to hearing your questions, and we'll be back later.